Hello, dear listeners of Youth Drive on Foundation Radio. This is another edition of your favorite program called Youth Drive, as I earlier said, at Foundation Radio, and it is brought to you by Youth Outreach Program Cameroon, based at my One Up station. So our topic of today is RIO+20 Summit on Sustainable Development. During this 1 hour program, we are going to give you all detailed information about this very important event that is going to take place at Rio de Janeiro in June 2012. On the microphone, I'm called Bukenina, and with me in this studio is a very great colleague,
Asa B. Christel. Stay tuned.
Okay, dear listener, during this show, we'll have another colleague who will join us. So before that, I would like to start this program by introducing our first musical track by Michael Jackson, the title Heal. Enjoy.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love, and this place be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry.
Dear listeners, I hope you got the lesson concerning the message of Michael Jackson, who is asking us to come together in order to build a better world. So as I earlier said, today's edition is on the RIO+20 conference on sustainable development, and we plan to give you all the detailed information about this memorable event, such as its background, its objective, as well as its importance and the various issues that are going to be discussed during the summit. So let's begin by defining what RIO+20 Summit is all about. So can you please, Vera? So Vera is our another colleague that just joined us now. So I will allow her to give us a definition of RIO+20.
Okay, thank you for that opportunity, Nina. Now, before I begin, RIO+20 is defined as it is a historical opportunity to define pathways to a sustainable future. That is a future with more jobs, more clean energy, greater security, and a decent standard of living for all. Now, the Secretary General of the United Nations, that is Ban Ki-moon, also defines RIO+20 as it is one of the most important global meetings on sustainable development in our time. At Rio, our vision must be clear: a sustainable green economy that protects the health of the environment while supporting achieving of the Millennium Development Goals through growth in income, decent work, and poverty eradication. That is a definition Ban Ki-moon, the UN Secretary, gives for RIO+20.
Thank you very much, Vera, for that great contribution concerning the definition of RIO+20 Summit. So I would like to say something about sustainable development. You know, when we hear about sustainable development, what does that mean? Sustainable development is a development that meets the need of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. It's like when you are using a natural resource in our days or anything else, make sure that as you are using it today, your children or your grandchildren will be able to also come and benefiting from the resources. So you know, we are talking today on the UN Summit on Sustainable Development, also called RIO+20. Our youth drive researcher did a research on the background of the UN Summit on Sustainable Development, and I would like her to present her information with us. Can you please, Christelle, share what you had with us?
Of course, Nina. The United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development is being organized in pursuance of the General Assembly Resolution of, that is, 64/236, and the conference will take place in Brazil on the 20th to the 22nd of June 2012, which is going to mark the 20th anniversary of the 1992 United Nations Conference on the Environment and Development in Rio de Janeiro, and on the 10th anniversary of the 2002 World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg. It is envisaged as a conference at the highest possible level including head of state and government or other representatives. The conference will result in a focused political document. And this conference, which is coming 20 years after the 1992 Earth Summit, that's where many countries came together and adopted the Agenda 21, which defines 9 major groups, that is women, children and youth, indigenous people, NGOs, local authorities, workers and trade unions, business and industry, the scientific and technical community, and farmers, which is a blueprint to rethink economic growth, advance social equity, and ensure environmental protection.
Thank you very much, Christelle. Dear listeners, you are listening to Youth Drive on Foundation Radio. After the definition and a brief background of UN Summit on Sustainable Development, we are now going to discuss on the objective of this great event. So Nora or Christelle, what do you think the objective of the Earth Summit is all about?
Well, Nina, to me, the objective of this conference is to secure renewed political commitment for sustainable development, assess the progress to date, and the remaining gaps in the implementation of the outcomes of the major summits on sustainable development, and address new and emerging challenges. Vera,
maybe you have something to add?
On the objectives, of course, I know you have something, except you don't. But I was thinking of something, Nina. Do you think of finding out the meaning of sustainability?
Pardon?
The meaning of sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability, as I earlier said, is doing something that will last forever. And when it will last forever in a positive way. It's like you say that you have snake in your house, like is it ISONL?
Yes.
You have a water installation in your house, but the way you are using it is just wastage. You say that no, at the end of every month you are paying your bill, so that's why you can use it as you want. You don't know that as you are wasting the water. Maybe after some time you see that the supplier is going to cut the water, the water in your house. You say that no, how can I pay my bill and then they cut water? It's because the demand is increasing day by day compared to what they have to supply to the whole population. So know that when you are wasting water, for example, it's affecting the whole society. So that's what I think, that sustainability is like using the present need in such a way that tomorrow you will still be able to come and use that same need.
Yeah, of course, I like that definition, because to me, when I was finding out in my dictionary, I found out that sustainability was trying to continue living in a good way, but without bringing in things that will harm you in the process. That's why I was thinking the conference will be coming together to make sure that with the 7 themes they have chosen, they will try to guide the various countries to promote these various themes without harming or without bringing anything that will harm or cause any trouble. And that's how it's going to go.
Okay, let me take another very simple example again. It's like at the RIO+20, that is the Earth conference that will happen in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. Many people will go and represent their countries.
Yes.
So those who go there will benefit from the direct contact with other decision makers all over the world. So the conference will be maintained, will be sustained in the fact that when those people will come back from their various countries, they are going to implement what happened at the conference. That's what we call sustainability. It's like getting something somewhere and come and share here in the way that everybody will benefit. So thank you very much for the objective of the conference. And Vera, I would like to know this. When they say that the objective of the Earth Summit is to renew political commitment for sustainable development, what do you think can be the idea behind this objective?
Thank you, Nina, for that. I believe renewing the political
commitment for sustainable development,
I believe is to continue what is to continue what I think will be done in the conference that will continue to help our nation to grow.
Okay, because for me, I think that maybe it's like to improve the democratic aspect.
Yes. Of
That
course.
every nation has to like perform.
Yeah, everybody should have a point of view, because I think that's why there's a RIO+20 summit, which will bring together people of different countries to share ideas.
And then the next objective is assess the progress to date and the remaining gaps in the implementation of the outcomes of the major summit on sustainable development. It's like, what I read this objective is like, you say earlier that the first 8 summit took place in 1992.
Of course.
So the RIO+20 summit is now an opportunity to come back and see what have been achieved,
Yeah, within
and what is
1992,
remaining.
yes.
What have been the challenges that all the nations that were actually implementing the past objectives of 1992. So what have been the success, the failure, and what can we do forward?
Of course, yeah.
So what do you think about this?
I like that idea because, of course, I know, like they say, that filling in the remaining gaps, it means there are some gaps. They have discovered that there are some gaps that need to be filled. I mean, they have found out some problems, and they want to come and sit together and discuss about it, and then seek solutions and dispatch their members to go and implement in their countries.
Wow. So what I can say is that the objective of RIO+20 is like a follow-up of what, of all the 8 summits or all the seminars, conferences that were organized some years ago towards the improvement on sustainable development. Yes. So thank you very much for your wonderful contribution on the objective of the RIO+20. I would like us to have a studio talk about the issues or the themes that are going to be addressed during the event. But before that, let's listen to another piece of music by R. Kelly and Two-Face, who is asking us to hand across the wall for a better future. So enjoy R. Kelly and Two-Face in the title Hand Across the Wall.
Well, stand up, stretch out your hands. 1-8 represent the dream. Let me see, stretch your hands across the wall. Let me see, stretch your hands across the wall. 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 Stretch your hands across the world. 1-8 Project.
I am Kelvin Gwang Shemgo.
I am Mokom Philemon.
I am Achu Sanji. I'm Mokom Nova. I'm Mokom Sharon.
I am Youth Stober.
I am Lance Weidstoff.
I'm Patient Akwenja. I'm Yvonne Frinwe Takwe.
I'm Tala Adama. Miss Mboringong Fideli. I am Achu Jue.
You are listening to Youth Drive on Foundation Radio.
Yeah, after listening to R. Kelly and Two-Face on Hands Across the World, you listen to the Youth Drive slot. And we want to remind you that our topic is the RIO+20 Summit at Rio de Janeiro, and that at this point, Youth Drive is a weekly education program on Foundation Radio where we talk about topics that are of interest to young people in Cameroon. Today's topic is still RIO+20, the conference in June 2012 in Rio de Janeiro, the capital economy of Brazil. Actually, we should be focusing on the themes that are going to be tackled at the summit and the importance of the conference. Vera, who would like you to give us the themes of the summit?
Thank you for this great opportunity. Now, there are some major themes that will be tackled in this conference. They include firstly, jobs, energy, cities, food, water, oceans, and disasters.
Okay, That was great. Those were the 7 themes, and we have 2 main themes which will be discussed at this conference, which is building a green economy in order to achieve sustainable development and to lift people out of poverty. So Nina, we were thinking, we came up with some questions, so we're trying to see how we will talk about it and share with our friends out there. Can you bring us the questions?
Yes, of course, Christelle. The first question I'm asking myself now is to know how can we help people move out of poverty and get good jobs while protecting our environment, because the actual problem of Cameroon is unemployment. Young people are shouting everywhere, they're making noise everywhere that the government is not providing us jobs. We don't have anything to do. What can we do? So what do you think can be the solutions to this important issue?
Well, we should be self-employed and not always count on others. So we should not sit and keep on saying we are waiting for the government to employ us. But at the same time, I think the government still has its own part to play. You cannot go to school for many years, you waste money, you waste time, and you come out and you can't even get a responsible job and be even paid for it very well. Vera? Oh, okay, Vera, while you are bringing up your point, we were talking about jobs, yeah. Okay, so, with these themes they will be discussing at the RIO+20 summit. There are many of these themes that when you bring them together, you will discover that from another team, you can get your job.
Of course.
Yeah, like with water, we have many of these falls. There's a mentioned fall where they will be generating electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Youths can go there and work. That's another way of getting employment. And there are road projects also going on in Cameroon that they will come into work in.
You are right, because I met with a young person yesterday who was telling me that, who were asking me that, how can we make sure that everyone gets the water, food and nutrition they need? Yeah. Because you cannot be in the country where maybe the authorities, the government authorities are having all the advantages. So us who are in the street, us who are in the very remote communities, what can we do in order to benefit from water, food and nutrition that is actually affecting us? So Vera, do you have anything to say concerning the food issue in our country?
And jobs, of course.
Concerning food issue in our country, as I can say in Africa, if we plant palm trees, I'm sure from that palm trees we will be able to have palm wine, which will save us. When we sell it, we'll have money, and from there we are also employed. We can use it also as wood, and the wild fruit that comes out of it is food.
Okay. Wonderful. Wow.
Nina, I was thinking, there was this question I found out in my research, which was like, can farmers take a leading role in addressing the twin challenges of food security and environmental sustainability? And also, can they produce more food while protecting the natural environment? And I tried to bring out if the farmers can adopt environmental sustainable techniques, these techniques will preserve and enhance soil and groundwater, that is, by terracing to prevent soil loss and degrading through erosion and flooding, and it will radically reduce tillage and rotating crops and apply natural fertilizers, manure, and other things that will make the soil fertile enough to give them food as well as serve as jobs for them.
Great contribution. Adding to this food issue, what I can say is that when we are taking a time, I used to ask myself, when the decision makers here in Cameroon, maybe the councils at the level of councils or other, putting aside the civil societies and other NGOs, I used to think farmers are not actually involved in those type of decision making. While they are the one producing those food, the whole population is actually needing.
Yeah, depending.
Yes. So can you imagine that farmers, if they're not having some specific technique on how to cultivate, or how to maybe when they have their food, they don't know where to sell it. They're not even means for them to transport it from the villages to town. So those are some type of issues that at least there should be a platform where all the farmers within respective communities come together and find solution on how to transport their food from where they are produced to town where they actually need. So many things has to do concerning agriculture issues here in Cameroon.
Yeah, but you know, agriculture is the main means of economy in Cameroon, and that's where the government comes in. They have to bring up seminars where they will discuss with the farmers, even extension workers. They come and give them fertilizers, they support them. That's a way of doing it.
Because one time I have the opportunity to attend a seminar on how to improve our agricultural techniques in Boya. So I was surprised that all the participants were only those students who went to technical school of agriculture, who are engineers. I did not see any farmer, because those are the main people who are actually exposed to some problems in the field. Not that maybe I have my master degree in agriculture, in engineer, in agri.
Yeah, from the agri school of course.
Yes, of course. You have your master, but you don't know practical work. You don't know how to go to the field and do something that is actually significant. So I think that there should be, as you earlier said, Christelle, there should be a seminar where they will bring all the farmers to sit together and find solutions on how to improve the food situation in our country, because Cameroon is a very fertilized country in terms of agriculture. So maybe you have something to add, Vera.
Okay, thank you for that. I would also like that, still to throw more flesh on that, I would like that if farmers come together, they decide to form common initiative groups. Through those common initiative groups, I'm sure they are going to tackle all the problems they are having. And they should not form common initiative groups only in the community they live. They should try to mix. For instance, somebody from Mendankwe joins with somebody from Kwen. They now will have different problems, even a means of cultivating or improving on their crops, which would actually improve the standard of living in our country.
Okay, thank you. There is also this issue of water supply. At time when I'm just passing, I'm seeing children who are carrying a gallon to go and
fetch water.
And I don't even know where, because they don't have water in their home, or they don't know where to go and find water. They don't know where they can find, where there is a source of water that they can be using at any moment. So what do you think concerning the water issue here in Cameroon, particularly in those remote communities?
Well, I think the government can come in to help them, bring in the snake. They come, they put taps, they even dig wells, because wells are not bad. At least you can still use the water. Oh, those who are well-funded organizations, of course, they can come in to help. Oh, the people in the village, they can still help themselves, right? If they can dig wells for themselves, it's still fine. Vera?
So Vera?
Now, my own point of view, we should not only lay our emphasis on saying the government. What we should do is we should try first. That is, the community who really see the necessity of the water. Water is something we can't do without. Now, to have water, what can we do? We should plant trees. We should stop cutting out the trees. We should plant enough trees, because if there are trees, have little streams, they are going to sustain us for a very long period of time, instead of cutting all the trees we have near swampy areas. I think that's a good thing to do.
Now that you have already talked about jobs, about food, about water, and I would like us now to talk about cities. What do you think is important for RIO+20 summit to address the issue of cities here? For example, let's take our context here in Cameroon. What do you think is important at the RIO summit to mention the issue of cities? Is it because there is too much congestion in our cities? Is it because maybe when you are walking in the street, you see that people are just parking their cars anyhow? There's no enough space for doing something else. What do you think exactly?
Well, I must say, the cities of Cameroon are not that crowded. So the only thing we can do is make our cities livable and more efficient by keeping the place clean. We should make sure our cities are clean, even though we should be doing business, of course. Business is important. But when you are doing your business, at least you should make sure that your area is clean to keep us healthy.
Okay. There, you have something to add concerning the cities issues around Cameroon?
Okay, from my own point of view, I think this issue of cities was mentioned because most of us, let's say the youths, we scramble and move towards some particular cities. That is to get jobs. We're leaving other cities empty. There we go. We are crowded there, making it impossible. So without now, I'm thinking that they wanted a means to make it, to bring equality, so that all the cities should be at least equal. They should be at the same level.
I see why they said sustainable development. Make your own town develop. Don't go to another town to go and make it develop because you see that it is already filled up and it has many opportunities open. Open other opportunities in your own town.
Yes. So thank you. Let's fall now on the disasters. I know that actually in Cameroon there are no major disasters, but at least we have this issue of climate change in the north of Cameroon, who is not permitting our compatriots to like enjoy the benefit that we are having here in the south of Cameroon. You see. So what do you think about disaster issue here in Cameroon? Maybe it's not in case it's not only
Okay, anyway, Nina, you were talking of disasters. I don't think we really have so many disasters in Cameroon. The only thing that I've really noticed should be the Mount Fako, which does not really erupt that much. So, concerning disasters, Cameroon should just be very, how can I put it, focused, and they should be prepared because you never know when it comes. So I think bringing it to the RIO+20 summit is just to keep them alert that at any time you can have a disaster. So you should always be prepared for it.
You are making me to think about this this very sad event that happened in Cameroon in 1985 with Lake Nyos. Lake Nyos just surprised everybody because we always know that Cameroon is a country that I can move as I want, I can go anywhere I want, but we were surprised to see that Lake Nyos came and actually confused us. So what do you think? So it's true that RIO+20 summit is like a place where preventive methods are going to be put down. That don't think that since your country is a peaceful country, you cannot maybe go to your farm one day and then you see the way
the soil is trembling and earthquake is coming.
So disaster is something that can happen at any moment. It's not only at China. It's not only Haiti. It can also happen around you.
Yeah, of course. I think that's why at RIO+20 they will bring down those problems and then seek solutions and tell them how to go and prevent such things from happening.
Without wasting a lot of time, let us fall into oceans. You know that in Kribi we have it's not an ocean. You know that the southwest region of Cameroon is beside the Atlantic Ocean, and then there's the issue of fishing around that place, around that area. So do you think that the fact of bringing oceans concept in at Rio is to reduce the fishing practice?
No, I don't.
Or there's another idea behind this oceans team at RIO+20?
Well, I think at RIO+20 the reason why they have brought oceans is because fishing is also what some people do as their job. So they are just like bringing it to advise those who misuse the oceans. There are some industries that empty.
That's a main point.
Good.
Yes, industries.
They empty their waste in the ocean, as well as we also have these marine ecosystems which can cause climate change too.
Maybe Vera has something to add concerning the oceans team at RIO+20 in Brazil.
Okay, for me, I think mentioning the ocean issue in Brazil is because at times some of these fishermen, they go into the oceans, they catch everything without even leaving the young fish that can be used again in future. So at least then now, maybe they will be advised on how to do that or how to prevent it.
Now let's finish by mentioning this theme on energy. I read somewhere that Cameroon is the biggest exporter of wood in the world. Do you think that this natural resource with firewood, do you think that by talking about energy at RIO, it's like to reduce the importation or the exploitation or the misuse of wood worldwide? Or what do you think is the main concern? Because I know that the wood issue in our context in Cameroon is very important as energy. So I don't know whether there are other energy source that are going to discuss at RIO. So what do you think in our concept?
Well, there are many energy sources that will be discussed. You were talking of wood. I think at the conference, they will be like coming together to advise those who export woods as well as those who import it. For those who export it, you will say it should not only be something personal. At least when you export the wood, the money, you should use that money to develop your own country. You should not use it personally, or you go and invest it out in some other country. Then we also have the issue of energy, still on energy, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. You know, there's the Menchum Fall where they will be generating electricity in Cameroon, as well as the Lompanga Dam. So that's a great issue that at RIO+20 it can be addressed.
Wow.
Okay, Vera.
Before we continue with the importance of the 8th summit at Rio de Janeiro, that's the economic capital of Brazil, I would like to invite this great artist called Valsero to come and represent the voice of youth here in Cameroon in the title "This Country is Killing Youth." Enjoy.
Le truc dans ce genre de choses, c'est qu'on se ya parce qu'on se parle. Pour 2008, je me parle. Pour 2008, je te parle. J'espère que tu vas bien. Mon nom c'est Valsero et j'assume mes propos. Ce pays est comme une bombe et pour les jeunes un tombeau. Faites attention quand ça va péter, y aura que des lambeaux. Alors les vieux faites de la place, faut passer le flambeau. Ce pays tue les jeunes, faut surtout pas en douter. Il faut attendre 50 ans pour se sentir accepté et franchir les 40 ans.
Youth Outreach Program Cameroon.
Founded in 1993 as a youth association.
Started functioning in 1995 and strongly committed to working with young people.
Fighting poverty and inequalities in their communities.
Our vision.
We seek a Cameroon where all young people
contribute to the development of their communities.
Gain and share valuable skills vital for adulthood.
Live healthy lifestyles.
Have equal opportunities.
Our mission.
Empower young people with skills needed to make informed decisions,
thus creating a better society where they are healthy,
responsible,
and actively involved in the development process.
Youth Outreach Program.
Developing skills,
enhancing capacity,
building the future.
Youth Drive
on the foundation.
Youth Drive
for the younger generation.
Dear listener, you just listened to our YOP slot, and we want to remind you that Youth Drive is an educative program brought to you by Youth Outreach Program Cameroon. And then Youth Outreach Program Cameroon is a community-based volunteer organization whose activities are focused on youth education and community development. And our program includes the broadcast of this show that you are listening to now. And let me remind you also that we are talking today on the UN Summit on the Sustainable Development that will take place in Rio de Janeiro at Brazil in June 2012. I would like us to talk about the importance of Rio summit in June, as I said. So, Christelle, without wasting a lot of time, maybe you have a particular importance you think that Rio is going to like.
Okay, why they are holding
achieve.
Their summit? Mm-hmm. Okay, I think their main importance should be the fact that, first of all, there was a conference in 1992. At that conference, they came up with the Agenda 21, which they adopted, which had to do with many groups of people, the children, the women, and many others. So, at the conference, it will be important to hold the conference. Why is it important? So that they can come together, address the problems. They would look at 1992 to 2012, what has happened within that time, and then they will bring it together and see how to find solutions, and then think of what will happen from 2012 to who knows when they will be coming up with another conference. It may be close or far.
Okay, for me, I think that RIO+20 summit in Brazil is an occasion to rethink economic growth. It's an occasion to advance social equity, and it's also an opportunity to ensure environmental protection by bringing together governments, international institutions, youth associations to agree on a range of smart measures that can be used to reduce poverty while promoting decent jobs, clean energy, and a more sustainable and fair use of resources. So that's what I think will be the importance of RIO+20 conference in Brazil in June 2012.
Okay, so Nina, I was just trying to find out, what do you think about youth participation at this conference? Is it really necessary?
I don't even know if I would say that it's very. Just know that the participation of youth in this conference is more than very, very important, because all the decisions that are going to be taken during that conference is only for them, because young people are the leaders of tomorrow. If you are a leader of tomorrow and when they are taking decisions you are not there, I don't know why they are taking those decisions, because you will be the one to come that tomorrow and implement the decisions. That's why RIO+20 is another opportunity for you who is listening to us right now to make your voice heard. Don't say that, no, the governor will go and take part and come and share to me what happened. Or the Minister of External Relations will go and come and tell us. You, what can you also do? Even if you will not go there and be physically present, yes, what can you do as a young person?
Yeah, to assist in the conference. And Vera, what do you think about the youth participation at the conference?
I'm thinking that the youth participation in that conference is very necessary. That conference is going to act as the voice of the voiceless for the youth. So with their participation, I'm sure that as we are believing that Cameroon is expected to be an emerging economy by 2035, with that, maybe before 2035, we will actually succeed.
Well, the decisions that will be made at the conference will affect us, the youths. So it's very important that the youth should be present at the occasion, because the youths even have brighter ideas that will support that of their elders, and that will bring us to a better and successful summit. And for those who will have some suggestions to make concerning the conference, you must not be there physically. You can get your point of view, you bring it up to us at Youth Outreach Program. Yeah, that's my one up station, Bamenda, and you give it there, and we will then know how to channel it to the organizers of the conference.
Yes. So as I'm still talking now, the conference is not for governors, it's not for the president, it's not for the mayors and the councillors. It's for you as a young person. Yes. If they are taking maybe a decision to build a school in 2020, you are not there to say that, no, I don't think that building a school in 2020 is necessary. Who will come and say it?
Yeah, because you are the one who will go to that school.
That's it. Even your children will go to that school, or your grandchildren. So RIO+20 summit is for you as a young person. That's what I can still say and remain on my point. So what do you think can our government actually, what can they do to mobilizing or inspiring those young people? Because I'm seeing that it's only civil organizations, it's only NGOs and youth associations that are actually doing something to inform or involve young people into the preparations of this very important event in the world. So what do you think can be the role of the government?
Well, just as the government always brings up some conferences where youths come together and discuss, they can still do the same thing. They take some of these youths they bring together and send them out to go and represent the country. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's a good idea, because actually I'm sure that you are saying that since Brazil is too far from Cameroon, how can I get the money to go to Brazil? let me tell you that if you want to go to Brazil, just meet with us at Youth Outreach Program. I will give you more detail on how to proceed in order to have maybe that opportunity to go and represent your country and make your voice be heard. You see, so there are many means through which you can go to and get the fundraising to like go and represent our country. So what I will ask you to do, as I'm saying, just come and meet with us at Youth Outreach Program in my own upstation. I will discuss more about this because we are already withdrawing towards the end of our show, and I would like to maybe Vera has something to add before the end of this show.
Dear listeners, we are drawing towards the end of the Youth Drive show. We would like to share this last musical piece with you. It is titled "A Change Is
Gonna Come by Seal."
I was born by the river in a little tent, and oh, just like that river I've been. So now I go to my brother, and I said, brother, help me please. But somehow he winds up knocking me back down on my knees.
Wow.
Yeah, you've been listening to A Change Is Gonna Come from Seal, and I think a change is really gonna come because the RIO+20 conference is going to be a great one. So make sure you participate. Don't miss it. It's going to be interesting. Okay, Youth Drive was brought to you by the Youth Outreach Program Cameroon, and you can contact us through Facebook by searching for Youth Drive, or you can use our email address, which is youthdrive, that's ydrive08@gmail.com. And you can search for us on the web at www.youthdrive, is one word, .blogspot, which is one word.com, or www.yopcam, one word.org. And if you want to get more information about Youth Outreach Program, you can come up there and see us at our office located at My One Junction, Bamenda, or you use our postal address, PO Box 5185 Bamenda. Okay, I want to say a shout out to all the staff of Foundation Radio, to the Asas family of My One, as well as the Tayong's family of the Tayong's family of Bagmutrari, not forgetting Bruno Anoma, Sama and Cody, all of Katu. Nina?
Maybe Vera has some people to greet. Vera?
Okay, I would like to greet my parents back at home, Mama Esther Mbonyo, my children, Nelisa Billy and Ajinwe Michael, not forgetting my aunt, Dorothy.
Wow. Thank you, dear friends of Youth Drive, for listening to today's show on the UN Summit on Sustainable Development. My name is Bukenina, and I would like to extend my greetings to my father, Mr. Kamayu George, and my mother, Jale CV, to Rita Collins, Jessica, our new volunteers from VSO, and to Nora Mahmoud and to Baka Moesa. So we will be back in the studio next week with another topic in which are educative for you and only for you. So keep listening to Good Vibes on Foundation Radio. A big bye-bye. Have a nice weekend.
On the foundation for the younger generation. 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 For the younger generation. On the foundation for the younger generation. On the foundation for the younger generation. On the foundation for the younger generation.
some national committee members were being arrested for mismanagement of HIV and AIDS funds. So how has that affected your activities?
Well, I do not think that the arrestation of some of the members had anything. It's a national program, okay? This is a national program. It's not a program for some specific people, okay? The fact that there has been mismanagement and some people have been arrested does not mean that the program is going to stop, because they did not start the program, okay?